Hi, and welcome to my leveling guide for crafting. In this video, I'll be showing you a streamlined way of leveling your crafting jobs from levels 1 to 60. Why 1 to 60 and not 1 to 80? Because I haven't gotten that far in the game yet. Womp womp. This method uses Ishgardian Restoration, which is unlocked towards the end of the Heavensward expansion, after completing the main story quest, Litany of Peace. You'll need to have one combat job at level 60, which will allow you to unlock the Firmament in Ishgard. Following the unlock quest, you'll be introduced to all the NPCs. Potkin here will update your crafting log with the specific Ishgardian Restoration recipes we'll be using. The cheaper way of doing this is to gather the materials yourself. Get your botanist and miner to level 10 and spend some time in the diadem gathering resources. Gear doesn't seem to matter much from what I've seen. All the lowest level resources appear to gather at 100%, and these are the ones that we'll be using. So use a company survival manual, which you can buy from your grand company, surprise surprise, and throw on a food buff to power level your gathering jobs at the same time. If you don't care to spend the time gathering, you'll need to buy the mats off the market board, making the process more expensive, especially if you're going to level multiple crafting jobs. Okay, step 1. Unlock your crafting job of choice and push it up to level 21. You can't do Ishgardian Restoration until the job hits level 20, so craft whatever's in your log, buying cheap materials from the guild vendors. You can buy stacks of 99, craft 1, and use quick synthesis to do the rest. I try to mass craft recipes that don't require too many different ingredients, moving into higher level tiers as soon as they become available. You also want to do your job quests as they unlock, as they give great XP at lower levels and some of the starting gear and tools that we'll be using in a moment. 30 minutes and 4 job quests later, here we are at level 21. Step 2. Shopping. Here we're going to spend some money on gear. You can easily buy these from the vendors in the major cities or check the market board to see if anyone is selling stuff for cheap. Note that the Ishgard vendors start from item level 30, so you have to go to the original cities to pick up items for the lower levels. This is going to be the biggest skill sink for this process, but you can save the gear, excluding weapons, for when you decide to level other crafting jobs. For tools, you'll be starting with the ones you got from your job quests, but you'll need to buy the level 31 main and offhand. If your job doesn't have tools at that level, pick up whatever gets you closest to 55 craftsmanship and 32 control. When I leveled armorer, I had to go with their lower level stuff and slot in some materia to raise the craftsmanship value later on. You'll also need to pick up the level 52 main hand tool in Ishgard. That's it, just 3 tools. For armor, we'll be using 4 sets. The starting set is the highest level stuff you could get at level 21. The second set is the level 28 gear, third is the level 41, and the last set is what you could get at level 53. Note that you don't need to buy a replacement belt after level 28. These armor sets you can easily find from the NPC vendors in any of the main cities, so pick them up and keep them on hand. Now for accessories. Accessories will increase the total amount of CP or crafter's points you have. CP serves as the mana resource for crafting jobs and allows you to do actions that will increase an item's quality or collectability rating. You can find brass accessories off the market board or from vendors in the major cities like this guy. Just look for the jewelers. I picked up horn earrings plus 20 CP, brass choker plus 18 CP, brass wristlets of crafting plus 18 CP, brass or silver rings of crafting 9 or 12 CP respectively. You'll need to hit certain CP amounts at different phases, so be aware that you may have to upgrade a piece or two as you go on. The last thing you'll want is blood bouillabaisse. High quality will give you a 26% increase in CP, while normal quality only gives you 21. Depending on your accessories, you'll be able to go with one over the other. I found that high quality gives more wiggle room, so you don't have to upgrade accessories as often, so I generally went with that. To level 1 crafting job, 2 of these should be enough. The shopping is done! Maybe. Next is materials. As I said before, you can gather these yourself to save money or buy them off the market board. Open up your crafting log and move to the Ishgardian Restoration recipes to see what you need. You'll be crafting the first recipe about 30 times, plus or minus 1 or 2, to go from level 21 to 41. And the second recipe around 35 times, again, plus or minus 1 or 2, to go from 41 to 60. I like to be safe and have enough materials to make an extra 4 of each, just in case. You can do the math, or let me do it for you. I'll put this all in a link in the description below. Okay, now all the shopping is done, and hopefully without too much hurt to your personal wealth. It's time to start step 3, crafting. Ishgardian Restoration gives you experience based on the collectability rating of the items you craft. You can see the different breakpoints for the first recipe here. The first is at 50, then 80, and finally 105. This is me at level 21, wearing the rattiest looking equipment ever. This gave me 124 craftsmanship, 122 control, and 228 CP. Craftsmanship determines how much progress you make synthesizing, the top progress bar. The higher your craftsmanship, the further along the bar you'll go with one action. Likewise, control determines how much progress you make when improving quality, the bottom progress bar. The higher your control, the more progress you'll make with a single action. Now we're going to set up this macro by clicking on System, User Macros, picking a number, and dumping it into the text box. This macro is an updated one from Desperius' video. For those who don't know, a macro is just an ordered list of actions that are performed in sequential order. Creating a custom macro lets you push one button and sit back instead of having to do each one manually every single time. Once this is made, pull it onto your hotbar and click it once you start the crafting process. We'll be using this macro to safely craft the first recipe about 9 times at the lowest reward breakpoint. Turn them in and you should become level 28. At level 28, we want to swap our gear for the level 28 stuff. Don't forget to equip your other accessories as they become available for your level. This will give you 129 craftsmanship, 142 control, and approximately 260 CP. We want to change gear here because now we can craft the first recipe and hit the second reward level. Craft the first recipe another 4 or 5 more times, turn them in, and you should become level 31. At level 31, change your primary and secondary tool and set up a second macro. Again, this is an updated version of the one from Desperius' video. We'll be using this macro to safely craft the first recipe another 16 or 17 times. At this point, the collectability bar should be hitting max or close to max every time, giving us the highest reward level. Do a trial run to check and then go at it. Turn them in and you'll hit level 41. At level 41, it's time to change gear again. Swap out your stuff and you should end up with 179 craftsmanship, 184 control, and around 259 CP, depending on your accessories. If you don't have that much craftsmanship because of your tool, such as with the case in Armorer, then add a material or 2 into your gear to make up the difference. We're going to set up and use this third macro. This macro requires you to have 310 CP and is where the high quality blood bouillabaisse comes into play. Eating this should push you to around 326 CP. Again, depending on your accessories, you can get away with using regular quality, like the setup I'm showing here. Just make sure you do the math to ensure that you're clearing 310. Using this third macro, we're going to craft the second restoration recipe. Make sure you do a trial run before starting to see if you can succeed. If it's okay, craft the second recipe 14 or 15 times. This will give you a collectability rating in the second reward level, bringing you to level 53. Level 53, we're almost there. Change your equipment, primary tool, head, chest, legs, feet, and accessories, and you should now have around 330 craftsmanship and 326 control. We'll want to start using a fourth macro to make sure we hit max or close to max collectability on each craft. This macro requires 324 CP, so get accessories that will push you there when you add the bonus from blood bouillabaisse. Again, do a test run before starting. If it succeeds, use this to craft the second recipe another 20 or 21 times. Turn it in and you'll hit level 60. Congrats! With near minimal effort, you've leveled to 60. Where do you go from here? The next breakpoint is at level 63, when you get access to better gear from the Stormblood expansion. This is because the next phase of leveling requires you to have a crazy 478 CP to craft the third recipe at its highest reward level. I haven't gotten that far yet, so I don't know. Check out Desperius' video for more info. But until 63, you can continue using the fourth macro to craft the second recipe. It feels like 3 or 4 turn-ins per level at this point, so get enough materials to get you to 63. Or you can go back and do the rest of your crafting job quests. Each job gets access to a new ability at level 65, so it might be a good idea to do these in preparation for that point. Hopefully this was straightforward and clear enough to help you get your job 3/4 of the way there with minimal hurt to your wallet. I know that when I was trying to figure this out, I ended up buying extraneous gear that I didn't need to spend money on. So I hope this has been helpful for you. For a detailed breakdown of this whole process, again, check the link in the description below. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments section down below. Otherwise, enjoy crafting! Bye!